What's up, everybody? We're relaunching the podcast. We've retitled the podcast, rebranded, and I get to talk about all things golf, cars, real estate, music, fun things. And so today, first official episode of the rebrand. I don't have an accent, you do. Is going to be with my amazing caddy from the USM, Mr. Hoppock. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I hope my accent isn't too strong for everybody at home, but excited to be here, man. Thanks for having me on.
Give people a little bit of context. Where you born and raised, and then why do you love golf?
Yeah. Born and raised in a suburb of Wichita, Kansas called Hayesville. I got into golf because my mom's from Jacksonville, Florida. We'd go down there every summer and I'd be bored out of my mind staying for 2 weeks at my grandma's house. And they bought me like an 8-iron, a putter, and some wiffle balls to hit around the yard when I was in like eighth, ninth grade, summer before there, and bought me like a Golf Illustrated magazine to learn how to swing, like the full swing, read about it. And so I was hooked. We went to the driving range a couple times, and like later on in the 2 weeks went and played and have been absolutely addicted ever since. So much so that I was diehard baseball family, played baseball through high school, started on the varsity team and everything, going to state, and decided that I wanted to play golf in college. That sounded like a whole lot more fun and one of the best decisions I ever made. So, and from then on, just an absolute golf sicko. That's why I live and breathe it. I take in golf podcasts. I read golf books. I take golf trips, even by myself if I have to. So yeah, definitely, I've got a problem.
There's worse things to be addicted to, right?
Probably yes. I don't know. There's probably cheaper things to be addicted to, maybe. But
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know what? If it I've never been arrested for it, so probably I don't.
Not yet.
Nope,
Yeah,
no, never been
not
arrested.
yet. That would be a podcast. Um,
Yeah.
you and Scotty Scheffler would have something in common, finally.
Oh man, dude, Happy Gilmore too did a great job incorporating that in. Good job on those guys.
So
Sky,
I still
props
haven't
to
seen
Scotty
it.
for being a
I
good
still
sport.
haven't seen it.
Well,
I need
props
to
to
watch
Scotty
it.
for being a good sport and joking around about it, because most of those
Yeah.
pros with their brands and everything, they'd be freaking out. So
Right. Yeah. No, you're totally right. So this podcast, I get asked a lot, and I'm sure you have too, since we got back from San Francisco. How was Olympic? What was it like? The whole experience. And so I figured we'd, kick the podcast back up and recap it to give people a place to go. And selfishly for me, I want to document the moment too, but also, I want to hear from the caddy's view as well as mine. I mean, I know we have a little agenda which you sent to us, so I'll go to the agenda real quick and just give people a little bit of context of what it takes to get to the USM. And so I did a local qualifier at Kicking Bird, shot 2 under, went into a playoff. There was 5 of us for 4 spots in the playoff. I hit it off the planet on the first hole at K-Bird, almost to the 7th fairway, which is big right. Managed to make par. One kid made birdie, so he advanced. So then there was 4 of us for 3 spots. Second hole at K-Bird, short par 4. We all hit driver. I hit another off the planet right down the 4th fairway. Was in the middle of the 4th fairway. And these 3 kids, and they were kids I was playing against too. These 3 kids, all in high school, you could have put a blanket over the 3 balls that they hit up the fairway. Like they nuked all 3 of them, just right left of the bunker. Perfect. They all had easy pitch shots
yeah,
in air
sure.
quotes. And I had 64 yards uphill. I could just see the top of the flag and hit it to 2 feet, and none of them got up and down. So that's how I advanced. And then you
Wow,
go from
I
there,
haven't heard
right?
that.
Crazy. Oh, I didn't tell you that? Sorry. Yeah.
I haven't.
So
It's
I get
wild.
up and
It's wild
down.
that I probably don't know. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I got up and down from basically middle of nowhere, and they're all in prime position. None of them got up and down. So I advanced, picked up my ball out of the hole and said, "See you, boys. I'm done. I don't have to watch and wait around." So then you get an email. It says your final qualifying site is going to be in Texas. It was at Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club in Rockwall, Texas, which is sort of a city suburb of Dallas, and in 2 weeks. And so I went down there, played a practice round, Bermuda greens, kind of a quirky golf course, and didn't have the best of front nines. I had a great draw. I went off second group in a twosome with a kid from Edmond, so who plays at Samford, I think. Yeah, great kid. Had a great time. His dad was on the bag. It was
It's
just
huge
me,
having a
so
good
had a good
parent.
group. He got off to oh, it's massive, right? Just settled you right down. On the first hole, I hit it a yard from going out of bounds onto the range. Also right. Got lucky there, made par, and then sort of had a slow start to the front nine. Was 1 over through nine, and then just kept saying to myself, keep in the fight, all right, and keep kind of staying in it. You never know what can happen. Birdie 10, 15, eagle at 16, birdie 17 to get to 5 under, 6 under on the back. Last hole's a par five, 3 wood into it, up a hill, and hit it just right with the green in a little bit of rough. Chipped it sort of safe to 20 feet and made par and was qualified by one. So there were 7 spots available, and I qualified by one shot. And then because I was second group in, I had to wait, right? I got to wait and sit around, and so I had to change. Jumped, got a quick wash and change because I was 1,000 degrees down there, and changed into some comfortable clothes. Kind of had some food, and I went to see. I was checking the scores, and there was another someone came in behind me and shot 6 under. And so I knew I wasn't going to win. So I was, because if you win, you get a medal for winning.
Sweet. Yeah. So what I saw, we were following along back home and saw that you were in the lead and was texting with Jason and was like, are you following along? And he's like, there's so many more people still out there. I was like, I know, that's why I'm not texting Mike right now. I don't want to stress him. I don't want to get his hopes up. Like, we're not going
Right.
to bother him. We're not going to text him until we know for sure that he got through. But yeah, we were
Uh-huh.
following along.
Yeah, it's funny because I FaceTimed him. He eventually texted me, and I FaceTimed him as I was like sat on the balcony waiting for people to come in.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have to be good. And so at that point, I go down, speak to the Texas Golf Association official. I'm like, look, like I got to drive. I was driving to New Mexico, so I was like, I got a 7 hour drive here. I'm gonna go drive 500 miles. Is there any way, or 5 or however long yeah, it was like
Yeah.
6.5, 7 hours. Like, is there any way I can like, what do you think? Basically, is what I was asking
Right.
him.
Yeah.
And at that point, that was just us two at 5 under, someone at six, me at five. And he's like, look, 7 people qualify. You should be good. I'm like, great. That's all I need to know. I'm out of here. And so I'm then driving through Dallas traffic at 4:30, 5:30, checking my phone, right? So Rockwall is like northeast Dallas, and I have to go to New Mexico. So I have to drive through Dallas to basically go straight through Fort Worth and over that way.
Yeah.
So I'm
Nice.
checking my phone, I'm like, if I have to, there's no way I can go back for a playoff, right? And
Right.
so there's someone shoots 7 under. There's a guy at six. There was 2 of us at five, and so there's 4 people, and then there was 3 people at 4 under. So I'm like, if and then a bunch of two, and so it got
You
to
were a
the
little
point where there was
stressed.
a little bit, yeah. It got to the point where there was one final group that didn't put in their live scoring the whole time, and there's three of
Okay.
them, and I'm like, there's 3 of them. If 3 of these shoot 5 under or better, which look, the odds of them doing that is slim, but if they do,
Right.
I'm going to be in a playoff. So finally, they upload their scores. I get to, finally, like, okay, I'm in, I'm qualified. And then it's like, I'm driving to New Mexico to go play a golf tournament with Brian, one of my best friends. And so I was like super excited to get down there. And he's like, him and my second family down there basically are just like, oh my gosh, you're going to the USM. Where is it? It's like, it's at Olympic Club in San Francisco. Okay.
Unbelievable.
My immediate thought is just like, one, I've never been to a USM before. What are we going to expect? What's Olympic Club? Do I remember? I remember Lexi, losing her US Open. I remember,
Yeah.
Webb Simpson winning his because of that idiot that jumps on the green in that stupid bird hat, right?
Right.
Like that's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
famous clip,
Isn't
and
he?
then
Wasn't he an Englishman?
something like that. Yeah, I don't know because
Or
he's just
maybe
in the background.
Norwegian. Maybe
He's like,
Norwegian.
yeah, he was making like, he's like, caw in the background of the
Yeah, he
broadcast.
was. He
What's
was.
going on?
He was from the other side of the pond.
Oh,
So
yeah.
my question is this the is qualifying for the USAM? Is this your biggest accomplishment in golf? And if it's not, what was?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think uh, immediate, like gut feeling says no, because I would say playing first time I played for my country was probably like a big deal, right? Like you go play for
Sure.
Wales, and
Yeah.
so even though Wales is a small country, I would say my biggest accomplishment in golf, which again, the USM is a bigger tournament than the Eisenhower Trophy, which is the World Am, which is coming up in a few weeks.
Mhm.
World Am is, every you got to qualify as a team to go, and there's 3 people from every country get to play it. So I played World Am, the Eisenhower Trophy in Japan in 2014. I would say
Wow.
that's up there
Yeah.
because you kind of represent your country. Yeah, Team USA won that. It was Bryson, Bo Hostler, and Denny McCarthy was their 3-man team. They beat Canada, and Canada's team was Corey Connors, and 2 other guys were on tour. John Rahm won the individual title that week. He shot
There's
22 under
some
par.
wow,
Dude, those the
insane.
roster, their names,
Names. Yeah, right.
stupid. Like John Rahm, yeah, I played with Nico Echeverria in my stroke play
Yeah.
rounds.
Man, his name's been he's been at the top of every leaderboard lately, like
Well,
crazy.
yeah, and I'm playing with him, and my college teammate Christian was from Colombia, and so is Nico, and so they knew each other, so we kind of connected a little bit about that. But yeah, that was really cool.
Are you in
But I
your
also
college's
realized
Hall of Fame? Is that
I
right?
am, yeah,
I
my
thought so.
SNU's athletic golf, yeah, SNU's
I mean,
athletic
that's
Hall
a
of Fame.
pretty big accomplishment as well.
Yeah, there's a lot, right? Like it's a lot of cool.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of cool things. I played 2 US mid-ams and then obviously USM. But like we're going to talk about, like there's nothing like the USM.
I
Like
mean, in terms
it's
of what
unbelievable.
in terms of what I know and see on TV and the prestige, I think of the USAM as the biggest amateur non-professional golf tournament that you're going to
Yeah,
see on TV. I mean, NBC isn't covering other
yeah, they're
amateur
not covering
golf
Will
tournaments,
Dam. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so like yeah, and even though obviously that's a great answer that you have, like that one meant more and means more, and
hmm
you're more proud of that, of representing your country in the world am, totally makes sense. It also speaks to all the huge things that you've done in golf that qualifying for the USAM is you know definitely up there, but may not even crack the top. While most people will be the greatest thing that they ever do in their life in terms of the golf world, right?
yeah. I mean, it's definitely close, right? Like I don't know. And I obviously getting to play for Wales and represent Wales at even though I haven't played golf for Wales for 10 years now, officially played representing the team to still have that Wales badge next to my name. Like it's and there's only three of us in the field at the USM of 315 people. Like that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So, and I mean, just to let the people at home know the significance of the golf tournament, like if you were to have won the USAM, like you get into the US Open, you get into the Masters, you get into the Open, and you get an exemption into the USAM for the next 10 years. So, I mean, you get the red carpet rolled out for you. Like it's a big deal if you play well there. And not many other AMs get that opportunity
yeah.
from winning a tournament, right? I mean, the if you win the US Mid Am, I think you get into 2 of those.
Yeah, I think you definitely make masters. I don't know
Yeah.
about the others. It's definitely the masters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a huge deal. I mean, the caliber of golf there, right? Like, there's a great one of the links on the USGA website shows like how you can qualify and stats on the field. And the top 100 in the world are exempt, and then everybody who wins a state championship are exempt. And so out of 315 people, 150 of them already are in.
Right.
So
Yeah.
then you got to qualify for those spots. I think there was like 5,000 total entries, get down to 315 people. So yeah, when you look at the numbers, like, oh my gosh.
And the number of great golfers. I mean, you've got to have below a 0 handicap to even
Yeah.
try to qualify. So it's all, ex-professional golfers that now have their amateur status, the top amateurs in the world, all the college studs, and all the guys that used to be professionals and as good as you were as an am and playing for their country now, have full-time jobs and working for a living, not playing golf for a living. Once you qualified and you start going through the logistics of what do I do next,
hmm
the first thing, one of the big things you got to do is find your caddy. And as we've already established, I was your caddy over there, but I was not your first choice. Who was your first choice, and
Yeah.
why was it? What? How come I got to caddy?
So what's funny is, so when I was heading to New Mexico to play golf with Brian, right? Brian caddied for me at my last mid-am in Nantucket. And he has always said, wherever you make it, I'll caddy. And I knew before I even got down there, his baby was due like the Wednesday of tournament week. And so I already knew. I was like, look, I'm not going to ask you because like there's no way. I'm not going to
Right.
put you in
Yeah.
that
Yep.
position.
You're right.
And we did joke. We said that, hey, by the time he has a baby girl, like this is his first boy that they're having. And I said, you know that it will be funny though if on your son's 18th birthday we're hanging out on the golf course, and he turns to you and says, "Dad, why did you miss my birth?" "Oh, I was caddying for Mike at the USM." So we chuckled about it, and so I knew that Brian wasn't going to be a choice. So I called Blake Jackson, who is a legend. He's our current club champion at Galadia. He was my college teammate at SNU, and he's been kicking my ass all summer and last summer actually,
Yeah.
which which is doesn't I don't like it. I don't like losing. And
He's pretty good.
he is, and his golf game, and his golf. He's put a lot of time and effort into his golf game over the last few years, and it's really, really starting to kind of. He's had a bunch of wins. Played some professional things, some mini
Yeah,
tour stuff, and had some
he's playing
wins.
professional. Otherwise,
He is, yeah,
he would be trying to qualify for this. Yeah.
right, yeah. So I called Blake, and he was just like, yeah, I mean, if I can get it, if I can figure out work, I'll let you know. And so I get the nod. And Blake is like you. Blake shares your passion, your golf sicko for not only, I think, like the travel and history of golf, but also like the architecture side. I
Mhm.
don't have that bug. I don't have
Yeah.
that architecture love. I like to play golf and have a good time. And I appreciate good architecture, but I don't
Sure.
dive into it to the level you and Blake do. So we're talking, and he's like, yes, I'm in. I'm like, perfect. It's gonna be a great time. And I think that was like by the end of the day. Like by the time I'd driven to New Mexico, he was like, Mandy said I can go. Work's okay. Like we're good. And he just got back from being in Scotland. Oh no, being in Ireland he went to Scotland, then went to Ireland for the
Yeah.
Open.
Yep.
And so, they were both over there, and um, I think he's got the greatest wife ever to let him plan trips to Scotland. I mean, Mandy, I know, loves Scotland as well, but it's the home of golf. The only reason I would assume that they're both going there is because Blake wants to go look at golf courses, and Mandy just gets to walk around. And they're both awesome. And so that's like, let's see, that's Monday night of that week. And so I play golf with Brian and a few buddies that kind of Tuesday, Wednesday. We played tournament kind of Thursday, Friday, and I get a FaceTime from Blake Friday, and he's in his hospital bed, and he just says, "Man, don't feel something's not right. I don't," and I could tell by the sound on his voice. He's like, "Like I want to go to the USM and caddy for you, but I can't, and I don't know why I can't, but I'm not well enough to go." Uh,
Why?
yeah,
Yeah.
and so kind of at that point, this was the Friday. He just got into hospital, I think, that Friday, so we didn't really know. Uh, and so then he's like, yeah. So I kind of I didn't text you till Sunday. I think I was driving home Sunday, and I thought I had some time to think, and I'm like, who do I want to ask, who also has the availability and also will appreciate it as much, to
Yeah.
go. And was talking to some of my other friends, and I, when you were at Cherry Hills, you came by, and I was caddying for Bale. We were talking, and he's like, "Look, you've got to have a caddy. Never gamble on a local caddy because you just never, which we
As
have
we, as we experienced in the practice
as we
rounds.
experience in the practice round, local caddies are hit and miss." And so I
Yes.
was driving back Sunday, driving back from New Mexico home, and we were texting about something, and I think I jokingly just said, "Hey, have I asked you yet? Do you want a
Right.
caddy?" It didn't take
Yeah,
you long to say,
it
"I'm
felt
in."
very casual. It felt very casual to me that you threw
Yeah.
it out there, but to me, I was screaming and jumping up and down like I won the lottery. Like, seriously, like, getting the bag was unbelievable, and I knew, like, you have a ton of other buddies that are more qualified and know you better than I do, and would make fantastic choices in caddies. I have the just like Mandy, have a wonderful wife that allows me to the flexibility to do some insane stuff, and definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity for me to get to caddy. So man, I was stoked, excited, did not understand like you why I was getting that opportunity, but come to find out, what's going on with Blake, that it was a bummer situation that I had to fill his shoes.
Often
Yeah.
choking on a biscuit over here.
Easy on the team.
I know, easy on the tea, right? I've been dunking stuff in my tea. I have to dunk. And so it was that last sip with like some biscuit residue in the bottom.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Like for those people that don't know Blake, if you haven't been on social media, most people probably who are listening to this will know me and Blake and everybody. And so Blake starts chemo, I believe, today or tomorrow.
Hmm.
And so he has acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is mostly commonly found in kids. And so thankfully, I believe they found it early. And so he is on the mend. I FaceTimed him. We've been chatting all week, but I FaceTimed him no, I got a text from him about a week ago and he said, I need you to FaceTime me. I just need a minute. It's like, okay. And so he FaceTimed me and he had this shiny dome like you. He
Really?
joined, he joined the
He already
club,
did.
but he kept his beard and he shaved the dome.
Already did it, huh?
He can pull it off too. Like
Sure.
it looked.
Good. Good
I
to hear.
told him that. I said, "Dude, like it looks good."
Good to
And
hear.
then he was supposed to go in, and so I think he prepared. He prepared. Like he then shaved his beard, and then got a
Okay.
call saying, "Hey, you don't need to come in yet." So he was mad because he shaved his beard early. But anyway, so yeah,
It's funny.
Blake's on the mend. I know if anybody, we had a little golf day for him at Gladia, organized by Devon and Bill Bishop. Had a great time playing out there, raising some money. But yeah, I know, anybody who's been through that or been affected by it knows that it's a long road, and he's going to need all the support he can get from all of us. And so we are happy and willing to, just keep it. I mean, he's pumped about Tommy winning yesterday. I know that because I
Sure.
texted him earlier. And so, yeah, and he was
But he
texting
gave
us the whole time
Yeah, he
while
gave
we were
me
there.
extra I don't know if he gave you extra motivation, but, like, I was extra motivated, and not only like, he kept supporting us, every day throughout the week and also giving us good news also about his situation, but pumping us up and giving us good, motivational quotes and just being super positive was super helpful, more than he'll know.
Yeah.
But we get out there. I think I'd like to cover our host family and shout out Kendall Dyke for
Yeah,
hooking us up there, maybe at the
absolutely.
end. But we get out there and tell people a little bit about like kind of the structure of the tournament, the practice rounds, and who we what our strategy was for the practice rounds.
Yeah, so you have like it's kind of like a mad rush for the practice round. Like they open the portal at like 5 o'clock, and everyone just like scrambles. And I didn't get to it until like 5:20, because I was doing something and forgot about it. And so I sign up and I look on, and USM, you play 2 rounds of stroke play. You play two golf courses. And so my general strategy would be to match the tee time to your practice round, right? So if I'm going
Right.
off early on the ocean course, I want to go off early in the practice round. If I'm going off late on the lakes course, I want to go late in the practice round, just to kind of get used to some elevation change, used to some, the ball doesn't go that far out there, which we figured out. But
Right.
also, you don't want to be playing at noon, when you're teeing off and you're playing on the front nine at noon, but when you're playing in real time, you might be going through those holes at we didn't finish till 7:30, 8 o'clock on one of the days.
Right.
And it definitely like, it got colder and the ball didn't go anywhere, right? Like that
Sure.
last 3 or 4 holes we played.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the strategy, and so I sign up, and I had my tee times, and I was like 8:50 and then like 2:50, I think, were my tee times in tournament play. So I look up the pool, it's stacked of tee times. I'm like, "Oh, great." And then I see Preston Stout, Ethan Fang, and Eric Lee, and a gap of an open space. And I'm like, click fast as possible, right? How can we get? I want to go hang out with the best players in Oklahoma State, the best players in the
Everybody else
US
was
right
scared.
now,
They were too scared to sign up to play with
dude.
them, but not Mike Hearn.
So much fun, right? I was like, I
It
gotta go
was
see these kids in real life, and I knew for a fact because you being a member at Costin and having experience at Oklahoma State and experience at Costin Creek, like I knew that would be a plus for you as well, and so
it
yeah, I
was
managed to
definitely
get that
icing.
one.
Yeah, definitely icing
Second,
on the cake, man.
oh,
I
so
was
good.
Yeah, really, I've never looked more forward to a practice round in my life, and they lived up to the hype. It was wild to see how they went about their business and the different personalities between Preston, Ethan, and Eric. Ethan and Eric were having, they were taking it serious, but still hitting fun shots and goofing off, and when they had the opportunity. And I think is also pretty clear who was playing well and who wasn't, and how that out of those three and how their tournaments ended up.
Yeah.
Preston ended up winning the stroke play portion after 2 rounds. He was the number one seed in match play. What do you shoot? 3 under, 5 under, eight under
He shot
total.
was 7 because he beat me by 20.
I mean, yeah, I mean he beat everybody.
He beat it, yeah.
It was
Shot 7 under.
unbelievable, and Eric made it to the quarterfinals, I believe.
I think
Or
semifinals,
semifinals.
actually. Yeah,
Semifinals, yeah.
semifinals. Yeah.
He was down to
Mhm.
the last 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those, we had an awesome practice round day 1. Day 2 paired up with Owen Sawyer of Iowa State, and no idea what Chang's first name was, but he just introduced himself as Chang, and he was from China, and his dad, uh, bless him, I don't know what.
Just smiled. Just
Yeah, they
smiled and
were
nodded
super
his
nice.
head. Yeah.
Chang spoke a little bit of English. Like honestly, really impressed with as it's probably his
Yeah.
third or fourth language, but super nice. Owen and his dad were great, and gave us some entertainment with their local caddy for practice round day 2.
I was like 70 years old.
72. He wasn't a caddy. He was just a member. Never caddied before. He'd never even seen the tees that we were playing from. Obviously. Uh,
Yeah.
poor Owen. Owen's dad did the right thing. He made the tough call and fired him on hole like 13 or 14. And luckily, the member was relieved of it.
Well, we found out why. He got guaranteed payment for 4 days. He made $700 and caddied 2.5 rounds, or 1.5 rounds.
Yeah, wild stuff.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me. So what was funny is, like, after the first round, or maybe it was after the second round, we're like the Olympic Club has
It was
this.
like middle of the first round.
Yeah.
I was waiting for like a good time to try to get you to chuckle.
And he's like, "Hey, did you know that, like, Owen fired his caddy yesterday?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, you didn't know?" I'm like, "No." And then I started thinking to myself, well, there was one tee shot on 14 where Owens missed it, 30 yards right. It started down the right and he hit a draw and he didn't draw back. His caddy's like, "Yeah, great shot." He's like, "It's 30 yards in a row."
And then Owen and his dad would just side eye me. They just like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you weren't in on the joke because it was
I had
really
no
funny.
idea.
Because
No
every
idea.
time he messed up, they would both look at me and I would have to turn away because I'd start laughing. So yeah, we had a little inside joke going on, practice
Yeah.
round too.
But yeah, practice rounds were amazing. Chang's gonna be a freshman at Cal?
At Cal, yeah,
Okay.
where
Yeah.
Max and Colin Morikawa went. Yep. So
Yeah.
he goes after the ball hard. I don't think he made the cut.
Yeah. Well, we also had the same outfit every single day, didn't he? Which we
He
thought was
did.
funny.
He was the abominable snowman, just
He
all
was in
white.
white,
Yeah,
all
in the
white every
white
day.
puffered vest. Yep. That was
Impressive.
Chang had an awesome look going on. Yeah. So I guess, Mike, I've yet to ask you this. I think I might have asked you if you were nervous a little bit, but you didn't see. I'm curious how you were feeling like the morning of the first round. And we had an
Yeah.
early morning tee time. We were paired up with Wells Williams and Carson Scarperud. Wells Williams is like 13th ranked player in the world out of Vanderbilt, something like that. Carson was a kid, plays for University of North Dakota. That's who we were paired with first and second round. Kind of walk me through, like, did you sleep good? How were you feeling? Were you nervous? Because you didn't show it, and I wonder if
Mm.
that is from all of your past like big tournaments that you've played in. If you were able to pull from that, or kind of you know all of
Yeah.
that. What were you thinking?
I never sleep good the night before. It's like Christmas
Okay.
morning. It's like,
Yeah.
you're kind of restless, and I kind of stay up and scroll my phone and force myself to be tired. We had a late practice round that day, right? Because we teed off
Yes.
late. And so I think like that helped as well. We had, we grabbed our own dinner, we had pizza and just kind of hung out. So I think it helped that I was tired anyway.
Yeah.
And the general plan for a practice round, like I told you before we got there, was, hey, let's just walk 9, play 9 because I need to rest. And then we got out there. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm playing 18-18
After we'd already walked like 7 holes.
after we'd already walked it. Yeah. So I was definitely tired. So, but I woke up, wake up in the morning and I don't know if many people have this. I definitely have it. If I don't set my clothes out, if I don't choose what I'm going to wear, like I have like decision fatigue in the morning
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, well, this looks good. Well, no, this looks good. And then I like just pick something, and I'm like so like in my own head about like dumb things. Like I'll pick a shirt and in the back of my head, I'm like, well, you're not going to play good wearing that shirt. Just dumb stuff.
Love
Uh,
it. You're peeling
like,
back the layers to the onion
just,
here.
dude, this happens daily for me as well. I'm a psycho, absolute psycho. So, yeah, so and I the only way that I get through this
Yeah.
is by saying the phrase, "Trust the process."
Okay.
I will say that in my head probably over 100 times a day, especially if I'm playing golf. And so let's see. Yeah, I slept pretty good. We had a good breakfast, went to the golf course for breakfast, right?
Yep. Yep.
Which again, like the fact that, California prices. Players get food, breakfast and lunch, caddies do not. And I knew, like, before going, I was like, "You're not gonna put your hand in your pocket. Like, thank you for coming out here. I'm gonna pay for everything." And then I think we used the same lunch ticket and breakfast ticket every day, right? Just
Yeah. Well,
perfect. We just walked in. I'm like, "This
I
is
never
great."
even handed it yeah, I just
Yeah,
walk
we
in
bought one
like I
breakfast and
was
one lunch, and that was it.
yeah,
Um,
we paid enough for breakfast and, yeah.
yeah.
But the
And
buffets were
so
excellent there. The
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 buffets were
USGA
good.
put and Olympic Club put out a great breakfast and lunch buffet every day for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, food is, had a bit of breakfast, and then Olympic Club has great facilities, and so got to go stretch. And obviously, being 34 years old, I need to stretch before I hit golf balls because it's going to hurt if I don't. So, little stretch for like 20, 25 minutes. Go to the range. Usually hit balls, chip putt. I think I putted first.
Yep.
I usually like pace putt first. Do a little drill like the Tiger drill with the tees just to get face
Yep.
control, and then pace putt, and then go hit balls. What's really, it's so cool walking up onto the range, right? It's all roped off. You got nameplates behind you. It's Pro V1s or Pro V1Xs on the range.
Yep.
You just like you're next to the best players in the world, right? And at 34 years old, I definitely wasn't the oldest in the field, but I'm like the top 10% of old guys there, right?
We didn't have a college bag
We
next
did
to
not have a call, yeah,
We
right.
had a
And
Sweet
so
Wales bag though with Sweet
yes,
Wales head covers though. Had the
yes,
had
we
the
did.
best putter cover on the range, no doubt.
Yeah, shout out to TaylorMade's new Wales edition.
Yep.
Yeah, hit some balls, kind of warm up. And my general practice routine is 58 wedge, 8 iron, 5 iron, hybrid 3-wood driver. And so kind of go through those every time, finish with the driver, and then go chip some, hit some bugger shots. That was the one thing I think looking at my stats, I struggled with. It was up and downs and chipping because that rough was so thick and I couldn't get ball control out of it, and I didn't know how I was going to react. And some of the
Yeah.
kids who were getting up and down, watching Eric Lee get up and down out of 8-inch rough with control, it's like you are a wizard. Like that
That
is
was wow.
like
And it's
that
so different than
separates you.
the Bermuda rough that you're
Hmm.
you're living with around here.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and then we teed it
But
up and going
but
off
I
the
feel
ocean
like
first.
how did you hit it? How did you feel like you hit it on the range during
I
the
feel like I hit
practice?
good.
I thought you were striping it.
Yeah, I hit it solid all week. Really, I had in the practice round I didn't, especially the first practice round because we walked the first
Yeah.
9 holes,
Well, that's
and then the
just
second
because
I
you
was hitting
hadn't
it
worn
right.
it had been 2 hours since you hit a ball.
Yeah, yeah. But I had the rights kind of in the practice round and then sort of fixed that on the range with some alignment. But yeah, I felt like I hit it good. Being a little older and being kind of more sensible, I would say, with my golfing decisions. I've definitely taken the left side of the golf course out of play. And so if I'm going to hit it, it's going to fade. And if I'm going to miss it, I'm going to miss it right.
Yeah.
And so that was just generally my thinking. If we got most of the golf course, we'll step up on the first hole of the ocean. And I mean, I always feel nervous. I think if you
Okay.
don't feel nervous, something's not right. And
Yeah.
so actually, left was out of bounds and car park and, all buses and TV or whatever.
Yep.
And on the first hole, it doesn't look like you have a lot of room left when you really do have more than you think over that bunker. And that bunker
Yeah.
really isn't in play. Yeah, and so I hit like a weak kind of wipey right into the rough, and we get up there, and it's like so it's like I got 200 yards to the green,
I
uphill a
mean,
little bit, and
it was one of the top 5 worst lies that you had all week was on the
it
first
was
hole
pretty bad,
course.
right?
Yeah, it was like,
So
"Dang, can't even
yeah,
can like, there's no shot at getting this even near the green."
yeah,
Yeah.
and you were giving me numbers, and I'm like, "I just need a wedge, dude. This
Yeah.
isn't going anywhere." And so, like, hack it out down the fairway, ended up having, like, 145 into my second shot and hit 9 iron to 20 feet, and we made it for a par. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay," which was the only putt I made that day on the first hole.
I feel like you made, like, another, like, 7 or 8 footer, like, on hole, like, 3 or something. I feel like you made another, like, clutch par save pretty soon after that.
See.
Did you feel like did you know like, when you hit that putt, were you confident over that? Like, and did that help settle any nerves? Or were you
I
still
wouldn't
or
say
did it
I
take
wouldn't
you a
say, like
few did it get take a few
yeah.
holes to get settled in?
It definitely took a few holes. I think that first putt was lightning quick downhill, but it was also looking back the only one I actually like got to the hole all day. And so like, if I'd got the other ones to the hole, maybe I would have made more putts. I definitely putted scared the whole week, which is not the way to play golf. But the
Well,
greens were
those
so
are
quick.
US Open, like,
Yeah,
level
but that's
speed of greens.
right.
They were
And that's what
lightning
separates
fast.
yeah, that's what separates me and the best kids in the world, right? Like these kids are playing with no fear, and I'm putting from 20 feet thinking I need to get this somewhere close, not like how I'm trying to make it.
And they're make
Uh,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, the first one went in, hit the hole, and it was kind of like one of those. Like I read it from looking at it from behind, and it was like right edge, and I read it from down below, the opposite side, and it was like left edge. I'm like, all right, well, it's straight, and so we'll see where it goes, and it stayed straight the whole way and went in, which was kind of a nice way to start. And then Mr. Green in the right spot. Good. The second hole, kind of a kidney shaped green, two tier over a bunker, pins tucked back right. The miss was long, right? And that's kind of what we went with. We went with the 5 iron instead of the 6, and I missed it long right and got up and down. You miss it short right, you're in a bunker and you're kind of done. And then I had a 3, same thing, right? I had a good second shot into 3, had like 8 feet,
Yeah.
slick down the hill, just like
Yep.
babied it down there.
Yeah.
I was like, even through 5, and then we got to the 6th hole,
Yep.
which like still, I look it back, I'm like, what would I have done? And I think doing something differently on that hole was just hitting iron off the tee to give myself a full shot in. I
Man,
think like
I'm so frustrated that I didn't watch the actual tee shot to know what actually happened
I
because you hit
flushed it.
because you hit it so good. You hit your
Yeah.
tee shot so good. For people at home, it's a two-tiered fairway. And so
Yeah.
there's this sharp slope that separates the 2 tiers. And I swear, yeah, like he piped it, hit this beautiful little 2-yard fade, and it must have hit on the slope and kicked super hard to
Yeah.
the right.
That's
I
exactly
mean,
what
it
happened.
does slope to the right a little bit, but it was so good I didn't even watch the drive. And we were both, I don't know about you, but I was shocked when we got up and it wasn't in the
Mhm.
fairway. So
Yeah,
to have
I
that,
totally agree.
I mean, I don't know if that's the wrong call. I mean, if I
I
think
think
that's just
the
gonna
only way
happen.
it's yeah, I think I don't draw it with a driver, and if I do, it's not planned. And so the only way to like hit, I probably should have hit it a little further left, but it's not a long hole, it's uphill. And so I hit driver, hit it great, you know, kicks off the middle of the fairway just into the rough, and it was kind of like juicy, like it was teed up, wasn't it?
It was yeah,
And
it was a
so
weird li and it was also like
yeah,
it was like there wasn't any rough in front of it though. It was like it was because it was so close to the edge that it was
yeah,
like thick behind it, but then
it
like
was like
kinda
fringe of a
wispy in
green,
front of
right?
it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a weird lie.
Yeah, and so 80 something yards uphill, front left pin, which is on basically on the edge. And in all our notes and everything, we're like, okay, let's just hit it. We literally said, I'm going to try and hit this middle of the green, two putt and go away. And I caught it thin, not like thin, but like just enough that it added 5 yards to it and didn't sort of go, it was just stuck on a bank. And then the second shot, I'm like, we're done. Third shot, I'm like, okay, we're done here. Like, let's just make 5, chip this to the green. And I thought I hit it far enough left, and I didn't. And I rolled off the front of the green. And then we played ping pong for a little bit and walk off with a 7 without losing a golf ball. And so in the meantime, my playing partner is doing worse than I am and made a 9, I think, is what we counted it up as. So yeah, that stung a little bit, and then we steadied the ship, made a good par on the next hole out of a divot. Um,
Yeah.
and I think the next hole, like in my notes, it was like hit 2 iron, just kind of turn it over and let it roll down there. And in my head, I'm standing on that tee thinking, I just want to hit driver so far down there because I'm pissed off. And then the adult in me is like, okay, like let's hit 2 iron, get back in shape. And so that was good. Made a good par on 8 as well. 9, I made I got another little thin on 9 for the middle of the fairway. Missed the green, made bogey there. That one really irritated me because that was just like total player error.
Yeah, I remember. I felt like you were pretty.
I
You
was
were upset
so
with
pissed
yourself after
off.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I hit a great shot into 10, but I mean, I think it was in between clubs for me. I went with the longer one. Generally, I go with the longer club if I'm in between clubs, and I hit it great, smoothed it, and it went, back of the green, made good 2 putt down there because that was really quick. We parred 10, right? No, that was 10. We parred 11, par 5 up the hill. 12, I felt like I got robbed.
The part there.
No, the up the hill, the 112, I was a yard off the fairway and we barely see the golf ball.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That was brutal. Made 5 there by missing the fairway by literally at 1 foot. And that was just like I hit that lie was the worst than the first one on the first. I almost didn't hit the ball. It was so bad. Made a really good par save on the next hole. And then I 3-putted 14, which was my only 3-putt of the week. And that was leaving it short. Frustrating. And then the next hole, 15, was a lack of concentration. Missed the green right, middle of the fairway. I had a great drive down there, and I was in the middle of the fairway. And that's kind of when it started to like, okay, we're losing this 18 holes here because I'm like lacking. My concentration had gone, right? Like I was swinging it good, but my concentration was just like a little
Yeah.
off, and that you
Yeah.
can't be off at all.
Do you
And
feel like it
so,
was your do you feel like it was your emotions?
no,
'Cause you
my
were
emotions are pretty
frustrated
good. Yeah.
or okay, yeah, just
I
like
think it was more just like lack of concentration, and then because of lack of concentration, lack of commitment for the golf shot.
okay, yeah,
And so that then, like a 3 putt on 14, a bogey on 15 from the middle of the fairway, then I was frustrated, definitely on 16, hit a bad tee shot. We made par. 17 was then a bad decision because the pin's tucked left, winds off the left, all the green to the right. And I'm like, just go at this flag because the wheel, if you pull it, the wind will hold it up. Well, I pulled it and it didn't. And so missed it short side, tough par there, tough bogey there. And then we get to 18. And at that point, I'm 6 over,
yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, like, let's just, because I was thinking of pulling driver on 18 too. Pin was front left, no point pulling driver,
Yeah.
um, watching Wells hit in there and like hit the only good shot he hit all day, hit the flag and zip off the front of the green. It's like, yeah, whoops, sorry, that sucked. And so I like hit hybrid down the middle of the fairway, best strike of the day for sure. Pick up the tee, walking down the fairway, and I even said to you, like, we're walking up to the ball. I'm like, this
Yeah,
is such a cool view. Get a photo of this because this is
yeah,
epic. And so you took a
yep,
little video and little photos. You're walking up, as I'm walking up to my ball, and my ball is like just at the crest of like this downhill slope, a tiny
yeah,
bit downhill, 135. I hit a little cut, winds off the left, pins front right. Everything is lining up. This is perfect, right? 2-tiered green, backstop. I can hit a pitching wedge that's going to spin right, pitch it in the middle of the green. It's going to take one bounce and zip right towards the flag. Pictured this all in my head. Slight downslope, little back foot wedge, and I'm like feeling really good. It was the best it was definitely the best I felt over a golf shot all day.
wow, yeah,
And I hit this shot and I just feel like this just like ringing up my in the grip. And I'm
ugh,
like, as I get through the ball and and then you hear the noise, hear the noise, and I look up and this ball is sailing right into the trees with like the purest shank you could think of, right? And
yeah,
I'm just like, what? I just started laughing, I'm sure. What did you
yeah,
think at
you
that moment? Like, were
you
you just
did.
in pure disbelief?
Yeah, I thought, I mean, I was in disbelief, but also seeing the lie, a downhill lie having to hit a wedge like that is, like,
Yeah.
totally in the cards for the mere
For
mortal.
the average golfer, it is,
And
not for
and
some of
and
the best
so,
in the
like
world.
but there's also, like there's a crowd around, like, it's not like just us and you and a few
No, it's
buddies
the back
playing
of the
golf,
green. Yeah.
like, this is 18, and it's right next to the practice, but, there's a lot of people around, and so, yeah, it's tough, I think it's tough for me because I felt like you played really good, like, I
Yeah.
felt like physically you hit the ball well enough to put up a decent score to have a fight for the second day. And if you look at the scorecard, it doesn't look that way if you just look at the
Yeah.
scorecard. But man, like to me, I was blown away at how well you fought. And every time you made a mistake, I felt like you came back and played well the next hole. Like I didn't seem like it's not like we went on a string of bogeys and couldn't get off the wagon.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
And I
struck
think
it
that's
well all week.
yeah, yeah. I think that's kind of the frustrating, like, I knew, we know this is a really, really hard golf course and the margins are razor thin. You can hit the ball great and it doesn't matter, because there's gonna be a couple bad things that's gonna happen to you no matter what, and you're gonna have to fight through it. And it's, how much can you grind and get up and down and deal with the rough. So, like, I think I was super impressed with how well just mentally it seemed like you hung in there, and even if you were getting frustrated, it never felt like you gave up, like, to me,
Yeah.
which I don't know, how did you feel about that? Did
Yeah,
you
I
feel
no,
like
I
you fought?
yeah, I did, yeah, and I like when you're traveling that far to play, and that probably is the age that we're at, right? When you travel that far to
Yeah,
play golf, and the fact that like I've never played a USM before, I hope to make more, but who knows? I might only ever play one. You want to like take it in and give it everything you got. Like there were multiple times on the trip we were looking at each other, walking on the golf course, being like, "This is unbelievable, right? Like this is awesome." All these people around you. You got like TV cameras that are setting up. You got volunteers and marshals and people taking scorecards, people looking for your golf ball, and like caddy. Every group's got caddies. Um, it's a tour event, right? Like it's
yeah.
exactly like a tour event, and
There's
so
TrackMan on the tee boxes, yeah, yeah,
yeah, like
it's
I'd love to see some of that data.
right.
Yeah, I mean
That's a
it's
really good
so
point, yeah,
awesome.
just the experience that you have and having our age and being more mature in just human beings and in our golf knowledge and how to process those things in a tournament is what and we see it every week on the PGA Tour. There's young guys and you can just see them melting, right? You can see it in their body language. You can see it when they're throwing clubs and they're just having a meltdown and they're not going to be able to come back from that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's a really good, and that's why I was so curious about your nerves on kind of the first hole and the first tee because
Uh,
I didn't, to me, it seemed like you were really comfortable, as comfortable as somebody could be in that situation because it is with all the people around when they call your name, Mike Hearn from Wales on the first tee,
yeah.
it sends something through. It's different. It's so different than what you're used to. You can't be used to that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, right? These kids who are playing, they are used to that. And they're
Yeah,
just like,
that's
to
true. Yeah,
them, like this is just another golf tournament to them, which is like, when you like I said, when you play a practice round with, Ethan's what, number 3 in the world, Preston's number 4 at the time, and Eric was like top 30, 28, 27, something like that. Like these kids have played these golf tournaments all summer, and you could see that. You could see that in the way they carry themselves, see that in the way that like they hit the golf ball. I mean, college golf is so good right now, and it's only going to get better. And we're
those guys have
fortunate to
played
have,
in majors,
yeah,
not just
right,
PGA Tour events. They've played in majors
yeah,
before.
yeah.
What
So
did you?
I'm like mid-am
Yeah.
over here.
Did you have any specific goals in mind for the week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you'd love to make match play, and I knew going into it, like realistically, like I am going to have to play the best golf of my entire life to make match play. Which, not to say that that's like a bad thing to have that realization, but just like I'm aware that I'm not the best, one of the best
Only
golfers in
s
the world,
only
you know?
64 guys get it, and there's, like
Yeah,
you could be the best player from your entire country,
yeah,
and you're not gonna make right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
so many countries that were
yeah.
there and are
3
not
over
being
gets in.
represented.
3 over was the cut line, and
Yeah.
so I shot 3 over the second day and played really good golf.
Played a so good on the hardest course. Yeah, yeah.
So, but knowing that, like, I figured out that to get, I don't have my world ranking, and I want to get my world ranking back because that lets me, but keep the dream alive. I want to play for Wales again. I want to compete in other golf tournaments. And so, but
Very
for me
cool.
to do that, I need to get my world ranking back. And to get my world ranking back, I had to finish inside the top 100 in the stroke play, which I didn't. And so
Okay.
that was like the outside kind of like, hey, let's try and finish in the top 100, which I think top 100 was like 7 over, maybe 6 or 7 over, which is still insane golf.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were like the goal was to just, enjoy myself, not like completely disgrace myself, have a good time and build relationships so that if we do get invited back, whether it's by the people we're playing golf with in practice rounds
Mhm.
or the host family that we stayed in, that's an option, right? Like, this is bigger than another reason I think when you're older, you're thinking about life stuff versus golf stuff. So it's bigger than golf.
Yeah.
And one of the beauties of golf is that it gives you the opportunity to connect with people all over the world through these amazing experiences. And, that leads us to, Kendall hooking us up with our host family, which were incredible. Shout out to them. They made out,
Mark and
made it
Wendy.
so good. Dude, so good. Just the best people. Perfect spot, close to the golf course. Just incredible hosts. So that, that takes the pressure off, right? That makes it, it's not just a
Yeah.
hotel and it, like it all helps. But yeah, that goes to have fun. And obviously like, go and see some things too, right? We went into the city and obviously you've been to San Francisco a bunch of times. And so you got to kind of play host and tour me around a little
That
bit,
was
show me
fun.
some great place to eat. And so, go up, see some golf courses and Presidio and just, yeah, I mean, it wasn't just like golf course, hotel,
It was pretty close to that because those were some long days.
long days. Yeah.
But it was good to get. I'm very glad that you did get a little bit of time to see the city and walk around and experience what life is like there.
Mhm.
And it's tough to get away from the course because it's a stunning piece of property just to walk around.
Yeah.
Like you said, the facilities are unbelievable. We did take advantage one evening after the set, hitting the hot tub and the sauna, and we run into so many guys from OU and
Yeah.
Oklahoma and college golf fellowship, like just a network of guys that we know and met new that we have acquaintances through.
Mhm.
Really, really cool. Do you have anything else about the second round or anything that you want to chat about or anything about the course?
Yeah.
Favorite holes or overall
I think
thoughts? Like,
I mean, second course was the championship course, right? Second course
yeah,
is where they play the match play. It's the Lakes. It's the one
it's the
everybody
lake course.
knows.
Yeah.
I made birdie on first hole of the day. Great
Yep.
start, right? Like flush drive down the fairway.
Buried
Looked set
another
up great
putt.
to me. Buried a
Sent a
putt,
jolt
right?
through me. I mean, it's
Well,
just
it's
like
just
the
it's
first hole
like,
on. Honestly, I
yeah,
think. I mean, but I don't know if I have a favorite. Both of them, like I was
yeah.
fist pumping. You couldn't see. I try to keep it calm for you, but I mean, I was
Oh, let's go. Yeah, and I hit it close on the next hole too, and almost made birdie.
yeah,
Got off to a good start, right? Like I think I was even through nine, even or one over through nine. I mean, shot of the day has to be the chip shot on 17,
yeah, yeah. I don't know how
right?
to, I don't we can't do it justice. Even if you were on camera, it wouldn't do it justice because
Yeah.
the severity of the slopes there, the hills there at Olympic Club are so severe. You were down way, right of the trees, down below the green, and had to hit a bump and run through US Open thick rough. Like had to
Yeah.
land it into that rough bump and have it pop up perfectly, land on the green, and then not roll all the way off the green and 30 yards back down the
Mm.
front. So yeah, what club did you say you hit? 9 iron, 7 iron?
Yeah, I just like pinned the face in a 9-iron and just kind of tried
Yeah.
to commit. The one thing most people do when they don't bump, when they try to bump things into a bank is they don't hit it hard enough. And because you're just not thinking to hit it hard enough. You have to hit it hard enough, and you shut the face so it actually puts a draw spin on it so it like goes
Uh-huh.
forward. Because if you
Yeah.
cut it, it grabs. And so yeah, I just kind of towed in a 9-iron, drilled it into the bank, and because I couldn't go up high because I got trees there.
Right.
And
Yeah.
but also like the shot, the reason I tried to run it, and I thought if it gets caught there, I can get up and down from there for par, right? And
Yeah,
so if it
yeah,
doesn't hop up,
that's
I
a
make so
that's a good point. Yeah,
yeah. And then I had a good, I think the 18th hole, which was obviously our 10th hole of the day. I hit a good shot into there and missed the putt. I think we all hit good shots in there, really.
yeah, yep.
Um, I would love to have made birdie there. But yeah,
What
and
an
then,
iconic hole. Beautiful walk with the
such a good
clubhouse up
hole,
on
right?
the left.
Yeah, such a good hole. Yeah, and then obviously, like, the it's 7-ish o'clock, and the marine layer's coming in, and you're like, I gotta go face the hardest 8 holes in golf now and
Yeah,
finish this round off. Shout out to Ben from back of the range who followed us down 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, and third tee shot. Get some great photos of us there. Yeah, that was awesome to see Ben and just get, like, get some memorable photos, right, of the trip and some, like, in the moment action
yeah.
photos.
I don't know about you, but I was feeling it seemed like we were very comfy at that point. Like
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
we were really enjoying the process there and just
Yeah.
the experience of what we were getting to do and seeing
Yeah.
Ben there was,
I would
like,
say a close
oddly
second.
calming, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, a close second for shot of the week is my 4 iron into 3, like, hitting that to 20 feet from 240 was
Right.
like, most people
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, it wasn't that good." No, it was, like, ridiculously
Dude.
good.
Yeah, yeah. No. Really, really, really
But,
good. Yeah.
yeah, overall, great
That's
experience. Obviously, wish I'd have played a little better, wish I'd have made more putts, but it would, the good thing is, like, learning from this, hopefully going to another one, in the future, it's gonna be great experience. Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, I'm curious to think of, like, curious to know from your perspective, what is it from being able to go to a USM and seeing it from the inside, having credentials to the clubhouse, getting a parking pass, all of these things that just normal golfers just don't get to experience. You just pull up to a country club, get your golf cart, and off you go. Like, you're around, one of the range sessions, I'm next to Jackson Coylan, right? Who's the best player in the world at the moment. We play a practice round with 2, 3 and 4 in the world. I'm interested to hear from you. Like, what were the things that stood out to you? How was how was the experience of the caddy? Putting on a caddy bib, and then I mean the whole thing. Like, how was it?
A USGA caddy bib with your name across the back, yeah,
Yeah,
it was honestly, it's a something I had never even thought, like, I never truly never got that far in my dreams. Like, it was better than anything that I could have dreamed of. I mean, honestly, I mean, it could be the coolest thing that I've ever done in golf, even over, things that I've played. Like, I've won, the club championship at Karsten Creek a couple of times. Would I trade one of those to go caddy in the USAM? 1,000%. Um,
yeah.
it feels that cool to tell people just to tell people that I caddied in it. And I've been telling everybody, I bought a Olympic club ball marker and I use that on the greens hoping that somebody sees it. It's like, oh, did you play the Olympic club? No, I didn't. I caddied in the USAM. I am bragging like crazy about it. I think a big thing for me, I am a huge college golf enthusiast because I started playing in high school. I like college and D1 golf. I played JUCO a couple years
Mhm,
and like D1 golfers are like almost gods to me, like how good they are at golf, that it's so cool. I love just being around that environment. And so much so that, you've seen me, I go to USAMs, I go to college golf tournaments, I even go to high school golf tournaments if there's
mhm.
stud OU or Oklahoma State players going to be there. But the overall experience, like everything was just so elevated even more than I expected. I knew, the USGA runs the best tournaments, right? Everybody says that, and every detail is thought of, the communication, but also like, is really, really a treat to be also at that location. Being in San Francisco is obviously a very beautiful part of the United States. I'm just walking around. The facility is awesome. There's so many cool
Temperature being
things.
60
Oh
degrees.
my gosh, God, I totally forgot. The temperature was amazing. We weren't I got to carry a bag and I wasn't sweating.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful because it could have been, they could have had it in Florida or Louisiana or something in Texas and just been sweating like crazy. So yeah, we were wearing pants and walking around. But yeah, seeing NBC, Colt Knost and John Cook and Burko and commentators there, guys that have won, seeing future golf stars that we're going to be watching on TV for a long time to come, playing
Mhm.
alongside them is absolutely honestly it's insane for a guy like me. You've been around that a lot more than I have. You've played in these World Am events. Like I can't fathom that world is hard for me to like that level of golf is so far above most of the guys that like one my level of golf that I play, but also the guys that I normally play with. That's not a normal thing that I've been around a lot. So just being in that environment was such a treat for me. There's something that man I can't thank you enough for asking me to take over. I know I was like probably the sixth or seventh ask, but man, I sure appreciate that. I got to loop the bag, man.
It was so awesome, right? Like it's such a good experience, and it's I think whoever I take doesn't appreciate it as to the level of golf knowledge that you have, right? And so even me, like I'm there, and you're like, oh, this is this person, or that, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah,
I don't pay attention to it, and I know through the stuff that you and Teal have done, there's a huge, passion for college golf there because you're right. Like the level of college golf that at the moment is, you know, tour level. Like you get to see Oberg, however you say his name. You get to see him at conference championship at Prairie
right.
Dunes, right? And then he's in the
Yep.
Ryder Cup less than a year later.
Yeah,
Like these kids are that good at golf, and the
it's
standard
insane.
of golf is that good. It's hard to explain to people how good college golf is. They all see their local club champion or their local buddy who plays in their scramble is really good, and yeah, he might be a scratch, but like yeah, Preston Stout being by 20 in 2 rounds. Like, and I didn't play
And
bad.
he
I played
no,
okay.
you didn't. Like
Like
that's the thing is
that's
like
the thing. They're
I was
so good at golf.
I mean, I was thinking you could hit the ball even better and score worse because that course
Yeah.
is so difficult. It's hard to explain to people how hard the course was playing. I mean, I
Yeah, they're
assume they
so
they
good.
understand with those guys shoot 63s on normal golf courses. Shooting 63 is nothing to them. And for those guys to shoot 75, 76, guys that are shooting 75, 76 and like that. It was happening like
Yeah.
that. I mean, we played with the number 13 player in the world, and he was out. Oh, he was done for by the front nine.
Yeah, he was not happy.
He was out of the tournament by the front nine.
Yeah. No, it's such a great experience. I mean, I think we need to finish up talking food.
Yes.
Uh, because we
What was
had
go over a few? I'm not going to limit you to one because we had a bunch of good food, but go over some of your favorites from the week.
I mean, okay, obviously Burger Dog, gotta talk about it. We had I think I don't I mean, we had 2, which I think was in wasn't w was acceptable. I think there's a lot of people who probably ate 6.
Yes,
Coach
yeah,
Coach
we're
Bratton
on the
was
low.
talking about it. We're on the low end, but with my Burger Dog order was just cheese and onion. It's crispy bun, they cook it fresh.
Butter
Yeah, yeah,
toasted, cooked to
yeah,
perfection.
yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I was very happy with mine, both of them.
Did
Usually
you
it's
see
the
the Stu
second one is the better one.
Did you see the Stu Hagestad Burger Dog review?
I did, yeah, I'm not
He's
surprised
so
at that.
so he's comparing it to Au Cheval and, like, all these, like, fancy burger places across America,
Yeah, of
and you
course.
can't do that. That's not
No,
fair to the burger
no,
dog
no.
because you're on a golf course and,
Yeah,
like, they don't have the same facilities. If you compare it to the hot dog at John
yeah,
Conrad,
yeah,
it's a 9.8
yeah,
out
it's
of 10.
gourmet. Yeah,
Like, it
absolutely.
in terms of golf course food, like, even like, I just got back from Sand Valley, and they've got
Mhm.
Mike Kaiser does Dream Golf, they do an excellent food stuff at the turn, but Burger Dog, number one golf course food I've ever had.
Yeah, definitely.
Easy.
And then we get to our host house, and Wendy is talking about she's kind of been cooking all day, and I said to Mark, I said, hey, like I want to take you guys out for dinner. Let's go to dinner, and just say thank you. And he's like, there's a concert in town. It's kind of busy. We don't really go out much because it's busy. Wendy's gonna make red sauce. Okay, whatever red sauce is, sure,
Right,
no
yeah.
big deal. And we get into the house and you just walk in, you like smell this pasta
Oh,
red sauce. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then we have have a beer and sit on the couch and, and I get to like do my podcast thing and been, and ask Wayne, I'm like, okay, tell me about you. What do you do? What's your story? And she's like, well, I've kind of been a professional cook for like the elite of San Francisco for my entire life. It's like, what?
Darn
That's
it.
why you didn't want to go out.
Darn the
And they
bad luck.
we
I
get
can
to this table,
oh,
right? She plates up. We sit at the table, and I could eat that garlic bread for the rest of my life. Uh,
man.
yeah,
We're not
A's,
gonna be
red
able to do it.
sauce.
I don't have the professional vocabulary to do
No, I
the
don't.
dinner
It
justice
was
at all.
so good,
Just
so good.
whatever the best Italian food y'all have ever had,
Yeah,
this was better. Yeah, it was and their house is so cozy to
it's so
begin with,
good. Yeah,
and they were so welcoming. We had the best host family.
mhm.
The house in general, everything just smelled so good.
Yeah. You're like,
I
hey, this
still
place smells great.
I need to ask Wendy, like, what are you using so I
Yeah,
can order that and use on my laundry and everything. But yeah,
so awesome.
she made red sauce and pasta and garlic bread, and man, we were soaking. There wasn't any red sauce left on our plate,
No.
soaking using that garlic bread like a sponge. But yeah, that was definitely the best thing we had.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple glasses of wine. You dove into the whiskey. I just stay away from the whiskey, but
Oh,
you had a glass of whiskey. You went beer, wine, and whiskey that night, didn't you?
I did. I was they were so nice. I couldn't say they could have put Kupel or they could have put anything in front of me. I would have said yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mark, Wendy, whatever you say, I'll do. I was in their hands, just putty. So yeah, I couldn't tell them no, and but I think it was such good stuff. I think I was still feeling fine the next day. I
Hmm.
wasn't hurting too bad. So but it was a practice round the next day anyway, so we were
It
all
was a
right.
practice round. No, we had a late practice round too, which is
Yeah.
great.
Then we
Yeah,
got
so good.
pizza to go the next night, and from
Hmm.
Pizzetta 211, it was so good that we went back our final night and actually ate at the restaurant, sat outside. Excellent, really the thinnest, like, cracker crust, pizza. Excellent.
Hmm.
But the night after our first round, we went to one of my favorite places in San Francisco, Dumpling Home, for some steamed dumplings, some fried dumplings, some sautéed green beans,
Yeah, it
and
was good.
some authentic tea. Speaking of tea, yeah, had some green tea there. So yeah,
Yeah, I
got
didn't
to
know what to
experience a
expect. It
little
was
bit.
really good. And the
Yep.
ice cream place. What was the ice cream place called?
I don't salt salt and straw
Maybe. Hang on, let me look it up. Salt and
salt and
straw ice
straw.
cream. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, salt and straw. Yeah,
Woo.
that's right.
Yep.
So
That
good.
that
So
was
we definitely didn't struggle to eat all week.
Oh, man, no, yeah. Everything was excellent from the breakfast buffet, lunch buffet to the dinners, yeah. There wasn't anything that we were spitting out. It was yeah,
So
we were
awesome.
spoiled with food, man.
Ah, what a great trip, dude. I can't thank you enough for going. It was such a great time. And yeah, I look forward to another one. I
Yeah,
want to go
man.
to one. I'm gonna try and qualify every year now because it was
I
so good.
man, I did I send you the list? I went through and looked at the future championships. I don't think I was on a plane, so I didn't text you, but I was picking out which specific ones I wanted you to qualify for. I was like,
Don't want to
"Eh."
go to this one. Let's go to this one.
I don't really care about going to this one. Like, I'm spoiled now. But I do
Yeah.
wanna go to Chambers Bay. When it's at Chambers
Yeah.
Bay, there's one at, like, Interlaken. There's some
Options.
yeah, there's some they've got them like 15 years out, so, uh,
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it went to 2050, 2051. I think is what we saw a sign for. Uh,
yeah, it's going back to a little
anyway,
bit. Yeah.
yeah, we need to tell you what, for people listening, has played pretty much every epic golf course in most places, and so we definitely need to do a recap of just your golf trips at some point, and just keep that rolling because you played some epic golf courses. Wrapping this one up, finish. Let's finish with what was your favorite hole of the week?
My favorite hole of the week. Ooh, The one that jumps out to me is 18 on the lake course. I think maybe just because we spent so much time seeing it and we spent some time sitting there and watching shots come in. The iconic, the clubhouse in the background. It's a gettable hole, but it can also get you too. It's a tricky short par 4. You don't have to hit driver off the tee. You can hit iron down, hit a wedge in, but you have to be able to control your spin to get it close, right? Because we saw guys landing it in the middle of the green and sucking it all the way back off to this little devil's asshole bunker right in the front, right?
Yeah.
So it's a delicate shot. That one stands out to me. I mean, that's when I'm thinking about, like, architecturally, like, strategic, like, there are a lot of holes where you were just grabbing driver, right? I didn't have to do a whole lot. There wasn't a lot of strategy off the tee.
Yeah.
It was mostly hit driver, hit it long and straight, right? There were a few holes that you hit hybrid off of that made us think, but there weren't any, like, fairway bunkers in the middle where we were like, "Ooh, do we lay up short? Do we go
Yeah.
left? Do we go right? Do we try to bomb it and carry over?" I think the par 3 some of the par 3s kinda stand out to me just 'cause the elevation change and the scenery,
Yeah.
those looked fun, you know? Gosh, my least favorite hole's obviously number 6. Fuck that hole. I don't
Yeah.
wanna play
6
I
and
don't
8. 6 on the ocean, 8 on the lakes. I don't like the 8th hole on the lakes. I don't think I've ever parred that hole. I didn't par in a practice round.
8 on the lakes. Which one was 8?
The par 3 to finish with up the hill, it was just, like,
God! That
such a
so
hard hole.
for the listeners at home, we started on hole 9. You know how
Yeah.
normally you start on hole 10 if you're starting on the
Yeah.
back? We start the way the course is laid out, the lake, we started on hole 9. So every hole is, like, backwards to me. Like, I
Backward.
can't
Yeah.
figure out
Last
what
hole of
hole
the
is
day.
1 because we played hole 9 as hole 1.
Mhm.
Hole hole 8 was our hole 9. Hole 9 was our
Yeah.
hole yep, I got you. Totally, yeah, really, really
Such a
hard
hard
part.
par 3.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be but I'd be playing from, like, 2 tees up from where you were playing from, so
Hitting 7 iron in.
I was gonna say, yeah, and if it's, a little puff fade, I've got that in the bag. No, that
Yeah,
was that was a
I
brutal one.
didn't have a draw uphill from 2:30,
That was a brutal one,
especially
and
not at 7:30 in the afternoon,
yeah,
tired from
yeah,
playing
when
golf all
yeah,
day.
everything surprising it seemed like you still hit the ball pretty ma when I'm out there playing in San Francisco, I feel like it's a club difference. No wind, it's
Yeah.
straight up club. I felt like you were almost like half a club sometimes.
Yeah, we played it as a club, but there was definitely a couple of shots that still kinda got a little juiced, right, and kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stayed in the air a little bit, and whether that's adrenaline or just getting a flyer at the second
yeah,
cut, whatever it is, but yeah, it
yeah,
was, it's such a good golf tournament, and we could sit here and talk about it for hours. It was so good, and there's things that we haven't even mentioned yet that we could laugh
right,
about.
sure.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for recapping it with me. Excited to continue to chat golf at some point on the podcast. This is my personal sort of documentation of just fun things I get to do, and so I'm
Yeah.
excited to do that. Come on anytime. What's your next golf trip?
My next golf trip is I do not have one on the books other than Scotland in May. So got that planned. I just got home a couple days ago from a trip up to Wisconsin playing Lawsonia Links by Langford and Moreau, which was unbelievable. Hit up Sand Valley and played Sedge and Mammoth Dunes there, and then played a little course called Erin Hills a couple
Yeah,
days ago. And talk about a completely different type of US Open test, completely different, but unbelievable. Very similar in terms of like the quality of the views and the design and the golf course, and the challenge was whoa. But other than that, not a whole lot coming up here in the next few months. But man, I'm glad you're doing this. I think this will be good for you personally, just to have some fun chats. And hopefully you enjoy re-listening to this, in 25 years, recapping your glory days.
yeah. I don't know. It's like relit a fire, and I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. Well, I'm
Um,
I'm excited to listen to him, man.
yeah, I'll hopefully keep weekly episodes rolling, ranging all things, but it'll be a heavy golf presence. So we'll have to talk about more golf stuff in the future whenever the trips happen. But yeah, people listening, follow us. I guess follow me on Instagram at Mike Hearn underscore, and then yours is what's yours? J Hop.
you can Instagram Hop20,
Top
HOP
20
20. If you I post a little bit of golf content on there on occasion, but other than that, not
on
too much.
occasion. Best
Yeah.
places in the world. Awesome. Well, if you're listening, we will catch you next episode. Yeah. See you in a bit. Cheers.